we never severed the ties. You had to start after 2 and you asked why, cause things wasn't going right this morning. But we going to get it right before the night comes. I wasn't going to do nothing dumb, like not have a show. That ain't, oh, you know, if I tell you I'm coming through, that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm here right now and ready to show out and talk about what we came here to talk about. When a parent cuts a child off, what makes them do that as if the child was soft? What? Well, cutting a child off is hard, especially when the child is your bloodline. And I find that a lot of things can happen in the fam, but we also going to talk about the reverse of that. Damn, like what makes a child cut the parents off? It happens every day, and I'm going to say the way. Yeah, it's a sad situation, but we get into this kind of thing that causes frustration. Maybe things didn't go the way that they supposed to go in the fam, but I'm gonna tell you just how I am. I feel as though that's a tragic thing that happens in your life. You wouldn't. Okay. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. We over an hour late. My apologies, my deepest apologies to everybody. But there was nothing that I could do about the situation that came through this morning. And I say I do. Just like I was getting married. Yo, the things that come through these things, situations vary. And I have to deal with life as it comes. But I'm here, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun. So, we're going to talk about this today. Parents cutting their children off. What would make a parent cut a child off? What make them do it? What would make a child cut their parents off? In my opinion, that's the saddest thing that could ever happen in a family. There's only, I would say, two more tragic things, in my opinion, that can happen in a family other than parents cutting their kids off, kids cutting their parents off. And we have to talk about the degrees of cutting off that there might exist here. Because when you start talking about cutting somebody off, it's not always as easy as it sounds. You know, like some people might cut a person off financially, and some people might cut somebody off emotionally. But what if the emotion was never there? What if the finances was never there either, or not on a level to where it could actually financially take care of a person? Our parents are our first teachers, they are first instructors, they are first coaches, they are our first loves in our lives, they are the first people that we've ever learned to trust in our world. They are the foundation from which each and every one of us come. None of us would exist here without our parents. So when we start talking about parents cutting their children off, and when we start talking about children cutting their parents off, what does it take to do that? You know, in your whole life, we normally view our lives. We view the things that happen in our world through the lenses of our parents. That's what we normally do. We normally think of our parents as the foundation for which we actually got here in this world. And it's an actual fact. None of us would be here if it wasn't for our parents. Now, things happen in our lives to sometimes sour a relationship between us and our parents. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a series of days, weeks, months, years, decades sometimes. But when it comes down to irreconcilable differences, when it comes down to the point where you don't feel like there's any way that you should deal with a child anymore that you gave birth to, that you brought into this world, even if you're talking about an adopted child, because there are many different forms of adopted children. You can have an adopted child that you got from an agency. You can have an adopted child that you got from being a foster parent, which is sort of like an agency. And you can have an adopted child that is actually a family member that you decided that you would adopt and act as the legal guardian for. Or I guess if you say that you're adopting a child, you're not a legal guardian, you're an actual parent. You are the acting mother or father, just minus the bloodline. But if it's a family member, you still have the bloodline, because you could adopt your cousin, you could adopt a nephew or a niece, or a grandchild. All of these things happen. But what would happen? What could happen to make you cut off that relationship, to make you sever those ties? And you know, the crazy part about this is that it happens in families sometimes multiple times with multiple people. Some people have been cut off a few times. And I don't know if we can take that seriously or whatever, but yeah, it happens. Yeah, my dad cut me off again. My mom cut me off again. I cut him off again. I cut him off again. You are my best friend. No, you're not my best friend. Cut you off again. I'ma cut you off again. Don't ask me for no money. It won't be in your accounts, not even small or large amounts. I'm tired of the thing that you do to me. You appreciate nothing to this thing that I bring. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish, even though today is 2 o'clock to... Okay, 2 o'clock to 3:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the... And if you can't say Omar with the... Well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Today, I almost said tonight, today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we are talking about what could make a parent cut a child off. How could it happen? How could it happen? We know that it happens. Hopefully, none of y'all have been the victim of it. Hopefully, none of y'all have had to do it. But these are some of the things that happen. There comes a point in your life where you just say that I can't do this anymore. I cannot put up with this situation another second, minute, hour, day, month, year, decade. Like, it has to stop now. And when you love somebody, when you care for somebody, when you feel deeply for somebody, it can definitely put a delay on when you decide to cut ties, when you decide to let go, when you decide to cut the rope, when you decide that enough is enough, when you decide to separate. It's going to be different for all of us, depending on the level of love, of care, of history, of time, effort, energy that you have put into whoever and whatever you love, like, or dealing with. So, you know, what you may deal with in a marriage may not be what you deal with in a family. What you deal with or put up with or tolerate in a friendship may be a little bit different than what you tolerate in a family. There may be separation. Some people don't separate. Some people don't make big separations when it comes to that, but some people do. So that's what we're talking about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Let me shout out my peoples. Thanks for coming through. Stacy White, always a good time to see you. T. Carey, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And sad love story. I hope the story is not horrific and kind of gory. And Big Ange, thanks for coming through. I appreciate YOU. And you know I do. So Stacey White says sometimes you can get cut off because you don't want to choose sides. Oh, you rather stay neutral. It's very hurtful. A child cutting a parent. Ooh, you know what? You got some shit there. You right. Taking sides or refusing to take sides in a family situation, and neither family member is accepting that. Like all the stuff I've done for you, all the times I've been there for you, all the things we've been through, this motherfucker or this chick ain't never do nothing for you. Now you know that a lot of mothers have had these conversations with their children. Maybe sometimes justifiable, maybe sometimes not that justifiable. But you know how it go. Like, oh, so um was your father there? Was your father there when you needed sneakers on your feet, coat on your back, jeans on your butt, a sweater on your shoulders? I don't know. Whatever. When your birthdays came up, who took care of that? when when school trips, when going to school, when you needed supplies, when you got your first car, whenever blah 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 blah. He every time it was time for you to have something, or whenever you needed something, he was never there. But he getting out of jail, and you want to go pick him up, or you wanted him to come stay with you, or you want to rekindle a relationship, or build a relationship with him. For what? For what? Now, of course, people going to think about that differently, because some people might say, well, yeah, wait a minute now. I mean, a child's father is a child's father, regardless. A mother should always be supportive of that, and I do believe that that's true. But you know how easy it is for some people to feel like they've been betrayed in a certain situation. When you've been holding it down for somebody for however long, when you've been putting in the work, when you've been taking care of somebody, when you've been making sure that you crossed all the T's and dotted the I's and their needs and their wants, and then somebody who ain't done nothing for them, ain't never been there, they just come in and grab the crown. What's up, Kevin Mackin? Yeah, somebody who ain't never contribute nothing to this team. This team been in full and total effect for how long? And this person coming through, grabbing all the spoils, getting all the cheers, everybody clapping, they on their feet. And they ain't done nothing. They ain't done nothing to try to get this team to the playoffs or the championship. It happens. But is that cutoff worthy? Cutting somebody off because they want to join or combine forces with somebody else that should have been on the team in the first place. Cutting them off. I don't know, man. Anger is something, man. And as easy as it is to say that all of us should control our anger, and we shouldn't let certain situations govern the way that we feel, and we should always strive for unity with each other. We should always be our best with each other. I get it. I totally get it. What up, Lori? Speaking of fam, what's going on, my peoples? Good to see me some you. Yes. Good to see me some you. Word up. So that's what we talking about today, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to cue the show up on this device. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get my charger. I'm gonna have to get the charger. I don't know about y'all, but certain chargers only work with certain devices. Like I have chargers that won't charge fast on one device, but they'll charge fast on another device. I don't know. It's in the world of USB-C for all of my tech nerds out there, for all my tech nerds. Okay. But yeah, as easy as it is to say that we should always control our anger, and we shouldn't make decisions in our anger, and there's never any good reason to cut off anybody, or especially a family member, because family is too important for us to be, separating from each other for a little small reason. minuscule things. Well, what might be big to somebody may be small to somebody else. What may be small to somebody else may be gigantic, ginormic for somebody else. What's up, Gorilla God King? Gorilla God King. Thanks for coming on through, my boy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Not this much. Not that much. That much. You can't even see how stretched out they are. But believe me, I only say it when I feel it. No cap. No cap. All right. But yeah, I've known situations in which family members have been cut off. But we talking about parent to child. What would make a parent cut a child off? Well, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that can lead up to it. Because I don't think the decision to cut a child off is always easy. Now, let's get a few things straight. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Because, we talk. We say things, we mean things. I know that every parent says that they treat all of their kids equal and they love them all the same. I know that that's what we supposed to say, and that's what we say. It's not true. Y'all seen it play out and it not be true. Some of y'all have straight up been told that y'all wasn't the favorite, or that there was a favorite and it wasn't you. Some of y'all have been told that you weren't loved, you weren't liked. Some of y'all been told that that your parents couldn't stand you. Some of y'all, hey, it goes the way it goes. But I know the politically correct thing to say for good parents is that, no, I love all my babies the same. I don't love one over the other. I don't choose one over the other. I know that's the thing that we're supposed to say. And I'm saying this to say that because the reality is that all parents don't treat all of their children the same, we know that the decision for some parents to cut their children off has been pretty easy. Pretty easy. Because they probably wasn't doing that much for them in the first place. They might have supplied everything that they needed to, or that they had to, or that they were required to, maybe even just by law. They might have supplied just what they were supposed to supply legally. So I gotta make sure that my children have clothes. I have to make sure that they have a home to live in, and I have to make sure that they go to school and things like that. I have to hold that down. But what I ain't gotta do by law is I ain't gotta love them. I ain't even gotta talk to them nice. I ain't gotta put them first. And I ain't got to keep them in my crib after 18 years old. Or do I? I never really thought about this. But you know how, like, if a squatter is in your home and they get mail to your house, you have to legally go through the process of evicting them. And that squatter may not have your bloodline, and it ain't got nothing to do with you. So can a parent kick a child out at 18 legally? I know that child done got mail sent to the house. Whether it was a letter from school, maybe schools that they applied to, college, maybe an army recruiter, or some other branch of the military. Can you just be like, all right, you turned 18, you out of school too? As soon as you graduate, you out. Because I know for a fact that some parents have kicked their kids out earlier than that. I know kids that have been kicked out at 13, 14. Oh, you don't want to do what you don't want to follow my rules? You don't want to do what you're supposed to do around here? All right, no problem. Peep game. What the fuck? Get your shit. Take your little raggedy ass TV. Come back and get your raggedy ass little bunk bed. Yeah, you can have all that shit. Yeah, I could keep it because I bought all of it. But yeah, you can come. Yeah, wherever you going, you gonna need this shit. I'm even throwing an electric blanket and maybe even a what's that shit? A sleeping bag. Yeah, because you might have to choose a park bench. I'm gonna hook you up with this little sleeping bag, electric blanket. You can have your TV. You got your phone. I ain't paying that bill no more. What else? Yeah, take all your clothes. You can take that video game system. Yeah, you can take all that shit. You can take it. Go ahead, take all that shit. You out of here though. Don't come back around here no more. I'm changing my number too. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it sounds reckless and it sounds cruel. And it is. But it happens. But what drives a parent to it? What drives a parent to that position to where they are cutting their child off? And we're also talking about it on the flip side for those of y'all who just came in. What would make a child cut a parent off? Because we know some of y'all have had to do that. Like my mom is dead to me. My dad is dead to me. They're dead to me. I ain't messing around with them no more. They have put me through so much shit, and for sure I'm not taking it. No, not taking it. No. Yo. I don't need them. They never did nothing for me, and I think that I raised myself since I was about 9 because they wasn't taking care of mine. Me and my granny still down, but sometimes she lets my mom hang around. Let her beat me, kick me down the steps, and make sure she beat me with the whip. Well, not the whip, but it was a stenching cord. No, not an extension cord. That's only for proper people who get their ass whooped. It was a stenching cord. She hit me with the stenching cord. I mean, I can't believe she used to hit me with the stenching cord. Can't believe that she hit me with the stenching cord. What are you beating me for? Can't believe that she hit me with the stenching cord. Can't believe that she hit me with the stenching cord. Come on, Mom, don't hit me with the stenching cord. Stenching cord. Natural, at least the rap was going on, Ma. Thanks for coming through, y'all. I started the show late, so if y'all think y'all late, y'all not. We ain't going nowhere no time soon. We gonna be here for a minute. I couldn't get the show started till like a little bit after 2. It is what it is. It is what it is. Gorilla Kai King says, we talking about anger within the family. Man, another tough one. Man, we talking about parents cutting their kids off. That's what we talking about. We talking about like your bloodline, your seed, the fruit of your loins. You saying, I hope things work out for you. And now we trying to figure out what could make that situation happen. What could drive it? What could happen in a family between a parent and a child to make a parent say, because man, you know, and I know, growing up in the 80s, the crack era, the 80s and the 90s, we saw so many parents not cut their kids off, and they was cracked out, stole from them, corrupted the other kids, did all kinds of unmentionables. Might even got the crib raided because they had drugs in the house, because they was selling drugs in the house. And we still saw, but that's my baby. That's my baby. I got to go to jail, see my baby. Going upstairs to see my baby. Gotta take his baby to see my baby. Take a baby, mom and the baby to see my baby. I got to go see my baby. My baby ain't coming home for 15 years. Gonna take him up some. Gotta put money on the books for my baby. Shed tears every night for my baby. I'ma make sure that I plead for my baby. Trying to come down on the pill for my baby. I'ma testify on the stand for my baby. I would do everything I can for my baby. I know my baby sold a couple of rocks, shot a couple of niggas, took a couple of cops, to take him down. He was on the run for like 5 or 6 months, but I think I'm never done. We done seen it. You know it. You know it. Some of y'all probably still pissed off like, yo, man, I'll never forget my Uncle June. My Uncle June fucking took my earrings, my swirls. You know, they call them what they call the figure eights. Remember the gold earrings, you know, the bamboos. You had the shrimps, the bamboos, the plates with the so-called onyx and shit. I think that shit was plastic. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Big plates hanging down. But you know the figure eight joints. We used to call them the swirls, but I heard that they called the figure eights. Yeah, he broke in my room and took my figure eight earrings. I came home from my job at Burger King, and my shit was gone. My shit was gone. And he took the socks that I hid him in my drawer. That motherfucker. And my mom still forgave his ass. I ain't forgiving though. I don't give a shit that shit happened back in 1987. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. He shouldn't have stole my shit. Man, nigga in and out of rehab, in and out of rehab, in and out of rehab. And that was my mama baby. My mama, and she ain't. He get locked up. She coming through with the bail money. For what? The motherfucker got locked up and the bail money was too much. She talking about putting up the house. Putting up the house for who? For what? First of all, how you gonna put up an apartment building? We lived in the projects. You know what I mean? We living over here in Tasker Homes. She talking about she putting up the house. What house? What house, ma? Bottom line is, we see so many people not get cut off that then committed all kinds of family atrocities. So what would make a parent cut off their child? What we doing? What we doing? Gorilla God King says, yeah, heavy addictions can get parents to drop kids. It sucks, but sometimes it's all they can do. Grown woman, don't try me. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. Gorilla God King said also, kids get them squatters' rights too. Okay, I've seen this scenario play out. Parents have to evict their children. Shit, if I was a child, and I'm not going to go through no eviction process with my mom or my dad. Listen, I'm not going to stay in no dangerous situation where somebody clearly has the upper hand. Ain't nobody who ever hit me with a belt going to get me to stay when they want me to go. Nah. If I can't run in my granny house, I run in my auntie house. If I can't run in my auntie house, I run in my girl house. If I can't go to my girl house, my homeboy, my man, my boy, see if they can put me up for a minute. Hot minute. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, listen, I'm a good dude. Somebody gonna let me, somebody got a couch for me. Somebody. What we not gonna do is challenge the king or the queen under their castle. Hell no. She ain't gonna be hitting me over a head with a brick talking about something. Oh, it was the plaster from this. I told you to fix that lock, mother. Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Thanks for coming through. By good to say, here I go. Lorraine Page says some people work their children like prostitutes, and their mental, emotional credit so on, be so jacked that they be so done. Okay, they don't want nothing to do with their parents. Oh, you talking about what can make? You're right. You're right. Those are the things that can make a child cut their parent off. You're right. Abuse, long-term abuse. Sometimes the parent cuts themselves off. Like it's a self cut off sort of. Like y'all was never close anyway. You never loved me anyway. So once I moved out of the crib, we just stopped communicating with each other, and that was that. I didn't have to really cut them off, but they not welcome around here. You know, like they ain't never even seen their grandkids. They ain't seen them. They ain't never met them. They don't need to. They don't need to. I don't. I don't want them around. I don't want them around my kids anyway, because they don't know how to treat no kids. They know how to treat me, my brothers and sisters, and I'm done. Yeah, my brothers and sisters, they still messing around with my mom and my dad, but not me. Mm-mm. No. No, no. Gorilla Guy King says, rightfully so, Miss Hudson. Parents shouldn't be sleeping around with your homies. Hold on, what did she say that? What she said that? Oh, Cheryl says some children can't handle their parents sleep with their friends inviting. Damn, you always going extreme. Yo, man, I wish my mom. Yo, first of all, ain't none of my nobody I know is allowed to sleep with my with none of my no. If I knew you, no. I ain't never hooked nobody up with my sister. Well, brothers, yeah. But nah, not my sister. Nah. You got if y'all mess around, it'd be like it'd be like Manny had to do with what was Scarface's sister name in the what was her name? Rita or some shit like that? You know, Scarface, Tony Montana. What is remember how he was overprotective about his sister? He probably was in love with his sister, his damn self. Remember, he killed his boy. He killed his main man, you know what I mean, over his sister. Like, you married who? Oh, hell no, you gotta die. You gotta die. All right. Stacey White says, those earrings, you know. TK Wright says, 100 challenges the king, queen who taught you how to fight. They know all your moves. Yo, I ain't. Listen, first of all, it takes a lot for a person to want to put their hands on a parent. You know what I mean? You have to unlock something in your psyche in order to do it. Some people do it, but it ain't an easy thing. That's a different kind of person. I see we have a caller on the line. Caller with the block number or the unknown number. I'm gonna come and grab you in just a second. Just let me finish reading off these comments. And I'm glad that you called in, because I didn't mention that. Yeah, y'all can still call into the show 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. That's a number to call us at a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. Us at a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. Us at a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak, and then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on, and do the damn, do the damn thing. Gorilla Guy King says, if I gotta evict my future kid, I'm making hell for them. Loud music, doors removed, cold water only for their showers, turn off the glass so they you mean turn off the gas so they can't make food, put a lock on cabinets. Yo, you done thought about this shit. That's what I'm TK right go co-sign that shit talking about some gorilla hide the toilet paper and keep changing the lock. You know what? Y'all wildin'. You wailing. All right, let's take the caller. Unknown caller. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Thank you for being patient. What's on your mind this afternoon? What's good?
Good afternoon. There's an echo.
There's an echo?
So I am a parent who had to cut a child off, more than one, and it didn't have anything to do with drugs. It had more to do with temperament and disrespect.
Okay.
As far as, sometimes some children, once they reach 18 or 21, they feel like they can get reckless with the way that they speak to their parents, and they get on this, I'm an adult now, so now I'm going to unleash the fury of every time I was ever put on, ever grounded or ever told no. They're going to unleash all of that fury upon you now that they're an adult, forgetting that they still have so much life to live. And that was the case with one of the two children that I had to cut off. And the second of the two, I had to cut them off. It was kind of like a mutual thing, where we disagreed about something, and it was kind of like I'm not fucking with you, I'm not fucking with you either, that's cool, type of deal. Not that I ever closed the door completely, but I did have to cut them off to a point. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the things that I would have done as far as helping them out financially, I refuse to do. There's not even a question. They know not to even ask me. They went into some trouble with their housing after giving me their asses to kiss, and I knew about it from my other children, from their siblings, and I did not offer. Like, I didn't say, hey, come back home. I didn't say anything like that. And if they would have asked me, I would say no, not going to do it, because they can't be trusted to be respectful. And so that's why I had to do it.
Okay. So, how long did you struggle with the decision to do it before you made the final decision?
One of the two she's been hell on wheels for years, since she was like, I want to say like 10 or 12. So when she started going through puberty, she had the whole house on lock. Everybody was, tiptoeing around her. So by the time she was 16, 17 years old, some of her siblings had stopped speaking to her, even though they lived in the same house and everything. So for her, quite honestly, I feel like she has, maybe she needs a therapy or a psychologist. And so I never really wanted to actually cut her off, but I kind of had to. So I struggled with that for years. So from, let's say, 2016 until 2019 was when we finally stopped speaking.
Okay.
And then last week she sent me like a friend request on Facebook, which is just sitting there in limbo. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that one yet. I mean, I kind of have, but I haven't. And then with my oldest son, I never really wanted to actually cut them off. And I didn't. It wasn't a decision that I came to easily.
Right.
But I knew that it had to happen. And I have grandchildren, that I haven't seen from my oldest son. I haven't, one of his kids I haven't seen at all.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe two of them. Two of them I haven't seen, and the two oldest I haven't seen them for like 3 years.
Yeah, that's first of all, I'm sorry that you had to go through that experience. I'm not sure if I'm hearing what I'm hearing, but it really sounds like, there's some deep emotion there, probably some heartfelt pain, and I remember when my dad was alive, me and him used to fall out a lot. We had bad arguments where I wasn't messing with him for a while, but I never thought, and I knew for a fact that there was nothing he could ever do for me not to ever speak to him anymore or to consider him to be cut off. I was just mad. You know what I mean? I'm just mad. Um, but I've seen it happen, and I've seen it play out. But what I want to ask you is, what does cutting somebody off really mean to you? Like when you say you cut them off, does that mean that you cut them off financially? Have you cut them out of your heart? Have you cut them out of your feelings? Have you cut them out of your memory? What does it? What are we really talking about when we say that you cut them off? Like can you explain that?
We do not. Yeah. So when I say I cut, if I cut someone off, I have now divorced myself from that person. When we're not talking about friends, I'm specifically but if I cut somebody off, I have divorced myself from that person emotionally to a point, right? I'm never going to call somebody a friend if I don't sincerely care about you. I'm very I don't have a lot of friends, so I'm very careful about who I call a friend. Anyway, so if I call you a friend or if you're my family and I cut you off, just understand I'm never going to be nasty towards you. But I'm not going to invest but so much emotion. Not even when I think about you, am I going to invest a certain, past a certain amount of emotion. Not even in my private room, nobody else is around. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not helping you financially. Don't ask me for shit. Like, I'm not calling you. If you call me, I'll be polite. If you stop by, which people know not to stop by my house without, let me know first. But if you stop by, I'm not going to be nasty towards you. But you might not be allowed in my house. So my daughter, she came popping up twice. She did this just out of nowhere, and then just decided that she was going to try to step inside the house. Excuse me, how you doing? Last thing you said to me was "fuck you." And in all my life, I never told my parents that.
Yeah.
I never spoke to my parents in a certain manner. And so, rather than punch you in your throat, I'm not fucking with you. I'm going to say to you, I don't like the way that you spoke to me. It's about to be a problem on many levels. So now you need to make your exit.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like good
from
advice
my
to me.
space and from my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not putting up with that.
Okay, at the
So
time.
when I
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. It takes a lot for me to get. I can be pissed off at you, and maybe we can come back together. We can talk about it. But for me to cut somebody off, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And when I do it, when I make that decision, I mean it. Now, if ever you want to have a conversation and you want to revisit this, we can sit down. We can have an honest conversation, and that's okay. And maybe we can work back towards something. But I am not going to initiate that. If you want it, you're going to have to let me know.
Yeah, I can dig it. I mean, it's a tough situation when you talking about dealing with children that get older. It's amazing to me the types of things that some children may harbor as far as resentment is concerned. Because to you or to a lot of people, it might be like, yo, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You mad about that? But to them, something might be unplugged or unglued to the point where they can't process the triviality of some shit the way that everybody else can. You know what I mean? Whereas,
Mm.
I don't know if you've ever played blackjack before, but
Yeah.
yeah, like for some people, they'll take a hit on 20. The game only go up to 21.
Yeah.
So you got two face cards, and you gonna take a hit? Like, what are the chances that next card is an ace? You would have done better splitting them, and then that next card is gonna give you a blackjack if it's an ace. But yeah,
Yeah.
and I say taking a hit on 20 is because they don't understand what going too far means. versus something that you need to put your all into. You understand what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so I want to ask you. I ask you, what does cutting off mean? Had you premeditated or predetermined what it would take for y'all to? I know you spoke a little bit on it, but I want you to really like hammer the point home as far as, was there a chance for reconciliation? Because sometimes,
There's
okay,
always a chance for
all right,
reconciliation. With you know, it's they're my children. So there's always a chance for reconciliation. With my daughter, you said premeditated. I knew, but I knew that there was a chance that it would come to that point. But I had hoped and prayed, like seriously prayed, that it wouldn't.
yeah,
I hoped that she would have, that, I kept saying, you know what, this is just puberty, and this is going to even out, once her hormones get in check, and whatever it is I was telling myself. And I tried to be patient. Most of us did. My oldest son, who ironically is the other child that I'm not talking to, he did not have a lot of patience with her. And she felt like we should have defended her more, but what the things that she was doing couldn't be defended,
mm-hmm.
and the behavior that she was exhibiting should not have been defended. So I knew when she, uh, oh God, okay, so I knew when she cut out the screen for one of the window in her bedroom and snuck her boyfriend in through the bedroom window and had sex with him with the whole house here, including my husband and myself. I knew that there was a big chance of it coming to exactly what it came to.
Sheesh.
I,
Hey, you know what?
the boldness of this girl, like, and I hesitated to even bring it up on here, like what one of the catalysts. It was the thing. It was the thing that had the whole house go, well, this is going to go downhill real fast, and it did.
Yeah. That's not something I'm unfamiliar with. I kind of wish he was talking about a foreign. Yeah, I've seen it happen, known it to happen. Like, some kids just got that don't give a fuck in them. I've seen kids take ownership of a house. Well, like, even on TV movies, we've heard kids declare that this is my room, those are my things. You don't have the right to blah 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 blah. That's one thing. I mean, whether they're right or wrong about it, that's one thing. But yeah, some kids feel like, well, since they live here, they should have the right to do whatever they want to do, even if it involves others there. Uh, and I've tried to get into the mentality of that. Like, okay, you did sneak, so the fact that you snuck them in symbolizes that you knew it wasn't acceptable. Whether you thought it was right or
Exactly.
wrong, you knew it wasn't acceptable. So there must have been a clear rule against it. Because it ain't like you brought them through the front door when everybody was in the living room, like, yo, this is me and my boyfriend. We going up to my room and we gonna shut the door. Y'all know what it is. All right, be back after I take the shower. It wasn't like that.
Shit.
It wasn't like that. So, I mean, is even though this might be a ridiculous comparison to you, I'm going to put it out there anyway. Is there a big
Um,
difference between sneaking a boy or a girl in your parents' crib while they're home to have sex than sneaking drugs into the house for you to stash, putting the whole house in jeopardy by the cops or the feds or whatever.
No, yeah, that's that analogy. Yeah, that's with the drugs. You're not just putting your health and well-being in jeopardy. You're putting the freedom of every adult in that house in jeopardy. So it's not the same. You know, the level of, to me, she exhibited a level of disrespect. At 16, 17 years old. Um, I can't even explain to you how I felt. I'm not angry now, but about it. But I just kind of like, when I think about it, it's like you didn't even have enough respect to wait until we weren't home.
Mm.
Like, so your father was for the streets. I'm working all the time, literally 60, 70 hour weeks. Your siblings, your siblings are playing sports, so they're out at practices. You literally only had two siblings who may have been home, who don't, they barely talk to you because you had the whole house on lock with your attitude. So they barely talk to you, and even if they did, or even when they did, I mean, they're usually playing video games. So you could have picked the time, like you literally waited until like the whole house was there. You just said, you know, fuck it. I'm just gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I just want what I want, and that's that. And then she laughed about it when it came out. So yeah, I'm not speaking to her. It's not because of that, but that was certainly a catalyst to everything going in that direction.
So that was pretty much like the cherry on top of everything. So like
It was one of four cherries. Yes,
four cherries. Okay. All right.
four cherries. I kid you not.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
So in your opinion or your experience, what is the end game for a parent cutting a child off? Can that relationship ever be restored to factory condition?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. But that there would have to be humility involved.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I've seen parents cut a child off, and it wasn't the child's fault. Like the parent was on some reckless shit, you know,
I've seen it. I've
and
seen that
and
too.
they just felt like, like there are some parents who feel like they can treat their child any old kind of way. They can speak to them any old kind of way. That they should not have to care about their child's mental health. I wasn't that parent, which is why, and I know I wasn't, and she knows they the two of them, they know that I wasn't that parent.
Mm.
So I can go ahead and cut them off with a clear conscience because I know how much care and love that I put into parenting. But there are parents out here who will be like, well, either do this or you can go about your business. One of my sons, I have a lot of sons. One of my son's best friends, his mom cut him off literally after taking all of his military money. After he came back from the military, she took his money and then was like, oh yeah, so whenever you get money now, you give me all the money or you can get out. And she cut him off. She literally cut him off.
Wow. Yeah, there are some grimy parents out there. There are. I mean,
Yeah.
like I was talking about earlier in the show, um, politically correct parents always say that they treat all of their kids equal, they love them all the same, and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen how it has played out with one child. And in the black family, it can get ugly because it can be based
Hmm.
on shade and complexion. Like, uh, dark skinned child
Yeah. Yeah.
get treated like a dark skinned child, and the light skinned child get treated like a light.
Oh,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
sorry.
I'm just saying. You
Well,
know what I mean?
I can admit that I treat my children differently. I do tell all of my children that they are my favorite, and then they all kind of give a chuckle because they know I tell their siblings that as well. And each of them are in their own respect, my favorite because I love they're different people. So really, you can do some things the same or a lot of things the same, even most things the same, but you're never going to treat the children exactly the same.
Right.
You can have a certain set of rules. So all of my children had a certain set of rules as far as TV time, and they had to be active outside. They had to, things like that. So they had like a certain set of rules. But yeah, I treated my children different because they all had different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Some people need to be wrangled in more. I have kids. You only had to tell them once, one time. And they were like, "You right," and you're gonna go and do whatever it is you said the way that you said the first time. Then I had kids you had to tell them maybe two or three times, but then they fell in line. Then I have two kids that you had to tell them every damn day, and you had to be they were those kids you had to be like, didn't I just tell you this? I just told you this an hour ago. What are we doing? So yeah, you can't treat every kid the same way.
You can't. You can't treat any people the same way. We all had different people bring out different energies in us. They really do, and I mean you have to
Yeah.
respect that. But you can also you can and you probably should practice always having the intention to treat everybody with decency. If you can at least pull that off, then it should balance out later on. But if you already go into it
Hmm.
like, listen, I only like this child because I liked his father, and I don't like this child because I didn't like that. Shit, crazy dysfunctional shit that happens in the family that we can try to sweep under the rug or act like it doesn't exist, but it does. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and it separates people, and it makes people angry, and it makes people angry, and it makes people sad, and eventually it all takes its toll out on the family. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in. I really appreciate you, coming through
No
with
problem.
that candid testimony. And I really hope that you and your daughter and your son, get it restored back to factory condition. If factory condition was indeed good, because sometimes the foundation wasn't never really all of that,
Mm.
and so.
Yeah.
But one thing about all things, I believe, is that you can always improve a situation. You can always improve a situation, and I hope that your situation improves exponentially. So thanks. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
I believe that it will be. It will get back to it. And thank you for taking the call.
Thank you for calling in. I'm one love.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff right there, y'all. Good stuff. Excellent stuff. Y'all want to call in? Y'all can call in too. 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. Press number one. That'll let me know that you want to speak. And I have to keep saying that because sometimes people call in and just listen to the show because you can listen to it from this side. So if you press number one, I know that you want to speak, and then I answer the phone, and you can say whatever you want. You know that this is a totally uncensored show, no censorship. You can say it how you mean it. If your emotions come out, you just feel like yelling, screaming, hollering, ah, you know what I mean. You want to get your I'm gonna try to be PC. Look at me, trying to act nice. I'm nice, but I ain't good all the time. But yeah, you can go ahead and let it out because we deal with actual facts and feelings over here. Actual facts and feelings. That's not an easy thing for a lot of people to put up with, but we make sure that we strive to do it in this movement. So yeah, parents cutting their kids off. Kids call. You know what? When I should have asked the caller, if she thought that the child cut her off. You know, we have the one side, we got the A side. I wonder if the B side, I wonder if the B side felt like, yeah, I had to cut my mom off. You know, she be tripping. I had to cut my mom off. She be tripping. Had to cut my mom off. She be tripping. I'm not going for that other bullshit. She be sipping that, sipping that yak, sipping that tequila, the shots of tequila, and she don't know how to talk to nobody. I don't know nobody. Just curious about that. Parents cutting their children off. What would it take? What would it take? Let me ask y'all this. What's the angriest that you've ever been with your parents? Has anybody else out there ever considered cutting their parents off? Like, listen, I got stories for days for crazy shit that I know parents have done to their kids. I remember one time, and I hate to keep taking it back to the drug shit, but yo, drugs are the tension ride of the family. You know what I mean? I guess that's my experience growing up. Drugs were the tension ride of the family. So I knew this one family. And all of the boys in the family pretty much sold drugs. They all sold drugs. And all of the moms in the family pretty much smoked drugs. So the boys, all the sons were selling crack, and all the moms were smoking the crack. Well, if any of y'all know about the drug game go the way it go. And you know that a crackhead cannot control their compulsion to find the crack, smoke the crack. Sometimes they cry over the crack. You don't know if they crying because the crack is gone or if they sorry that they stole it. My man's mom came across his pack and smoked up the whole pack. Smoked up the whole pack. It ain't like he's his manufacturer and distributor of his weight. He gotta pay his man. He gotta pay his people, whoever his boss is, when his money come up short. So he had to take that L. However much he smoked, he gotta pay that back. He can't go go to his boss and be like, well, listen, man, I'm short and I need a re-up because my mom smoked up all my shit. Your mom? Well, your mom's still alive? No disrespect, but you better check your mom. But I want my money. I'll be back later on today to get my shit, and you better have it. Or me and you gonna have a different conversation. And I don't think you're gonna like what was being said. Anyway, this is how they handled the situation. This happened in North Philly. I'm not gonna say where it happened in North Philly, but anybody who's known me for a few decades knows the part of North Philly that I used to work in. So they sent his mom away after she smoked up the pack. And by away, I mean West Philly. She had to go. She was exiled to West Philly. Yeah. She had to stay out of the way for a minute because he had to get up the cake. So I guess he probably had to go in the stash that he probably was going to use for re-up, pay his boss, get another re-up pack and sell that. And he couldn't chance his mom, smoking that, because a smoker's a smoker, and a smoker can't rationalize. It's like leaving a steak, a raw piece of meat for a dog by himself. I don't care how much you train that dog. The dog's senses is telling me, like, listen, I'm supposed to eat that shit. My nose, it's like telling a shark that you smell blood, but he shouldn't look for the flesh. Ain't gonna happen. So yeah, she got exiled. She had to leave for a few weeks, couple of months or whatever, back. She had to go back to her family. Let that family in West Philly deal with her. She can come back home after we settle things down when she's ready to be back. You don't steal. You don't steal our product. You don't steal product. Bad mama. Bad mama. You don't be steal. You don't steal. We have to sell that. You know we got rent to pay. You be selling. You don't steal our drugs. I give you an allowance of drugs to smoke. I give you an allowance of drugs to smoke. You smoke that, not this. Bad, bad, bad. Bad, bad. Bad, bad mama. Yeah. It could have got worse. We talking about the drug game. You know, ain't trying to hear that shit. Living, love, and light. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Bro, don't drop. He says a drug allowance. You think I'm not bullshitting? Shit. You talk to any drug dealer in the 80s and 90s whose mom was on that shit, they had to supply their mom. All right, here's your crack. This is the crack to smoke. This is the crack to sell. See the crack to smell? The crack to sell is all this crack. We got a lot of crack. Here's the crack to sell. Here's the crack to smoke. You only smoke a little. You know ain't got no business smoking that crack, mama. You ain't got no business. I told you to get off of that crack. You need to get off of the crack, baby. Come on now. I'm your child. I ain't got no business having to tell my mama to stop smoking up our rent money. This is the rent money, the Christmas money, birthday money, holiday money, Benz with the Benz tricked out with the hammer rims, the spoiler in the back, the Fendi Gucci and Louis seats. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom, shit. How we gonna have a block party? You done smoked up the block party money. You gonna make Miss Sylvia call the cops on me if I don't supply this cookout. You know Miss Sylvia gonna tell we selling drugs. We selling drugs out the house. Brittany Garrett, what's going on? Mr. Overflow, what's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's going on? And hold up. Bula Bear. He says the chain scream he has never be. I don't know. What's the rest of that? What I never did? What have I never done? I certainly never sold drugs, so I don't know if you're gonna say that. Yeah, because I ain't never sell no drugs. But I've been around some drugs. You want drug stories? Come see me. You come see me. Yeah, I never forget Miss Tiffany. Rest in peace, Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany. She was on heroin. She was on heroin during the crack era. And Miss Tiff, when she would get that real strong shit, I'll never forget the heroin dance. Have y'all ever seen somebody do the heroin dance? That shit'll make you want to get high. Tiffany would be out in the middle of Girard Avenue like, it wasn't no music playing in the streets. We heard the music. I was like, damn, whatever she got. No, crackheads, they didn't do the heroin dance. Crackheads, they be dancing for real. Every crackhead think they can really dance and sing. But heroin users, they be chilling. But when they get that, and it was a smile on her face the whole time. Well, what happened to Miss Tiffany? Tiffany went down to Badlands and somebody killed Miss Tiff. I don't know why. I don't have the details. It couldn't have been because she hurt nobody, because she was really a nice person, but she was on that shit. She was on that shit. I don't know. I don't have much more details, but yeah, drug stories, I got them. Drug stories, I got them. I done seen the raids come through. I never forget when the feds came through. Well, really, this was the task force. They came through, and they looked like they came through in plumbing and plumbing. You know how on a plumbing truck, a plumber would come through and they got like the PVC pipe on top of the vans. They came through in 6 of them shits. So I'm like, why would 6 plumbing vans just pull up on the block? Them motherfuckers jumped out. They did not have on overalls. They didn't have on no tool belts. They jumped out and went right in the building. They went right in the building. It was 4 buildings. They went up in them shits. I was like, I'll bet you they not fixing no leak. Because they not carrying those kind of tools. But it is what it is. Yeah, it was a sad story. It was the end. It was sad. Because Miss Tiffany was nice as shit. She was such a sweet little drug addict. But hey, I mean, there's only 2 ways out of the drug game: jail or death. Well, okay, 3: jail, death, or rehab. That's about it. Mr. Overflow says heroin users be dancing slow mo. Yo, I'm telling. But when you see them do that heroin dance, because there's a specific dance that they all do, and that's when they get that. I guess they got that sweet China white, whatever it is. They got that. Because it wasn't like that every day. You know what I mean? But she got that shit. Here it is, 8:30 in the morning. I'm telling you, I was like, shit, I might not use drugs, but shit, if it's gonna do that, I don't know. She was dancing to rap, R&B, classic soul, classical. She could have been dancing. She could have been dancing to Johann Sebastian Bach. She could have been dancing to Beethoven. She could have been dancing to. She could have been. Ain't no telling, man. It could have been Count Basie. It could have been Satchmo. It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody. But whatever it was, that music was sounding good, and we can hear it. We can hear it. Dimple says maybe she was a ballerina in a younger age. I don't know what. Listen, drug addicts are nothing but people who use drugs. So that could be anybody. That could be anybody. We were all born with gifts. But anyway, getting back to this whole parents cutting the kids off thing. Parents cutting the kids off. 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 Kids cutting their parents off. Like I said, in the situation that I described, yeah, they just had to send their mom to West Philly. She couldn't come back until she was clean. She didn't come back clean. She came back still dirty, but just not dirty enough to be stealing. West Philly was the rehab, her people's house. Now you deal with her. No, they don't sit over here. We gotta lock all our shit. No, you know she don't steal like that. You know she just had this little. Man, fuck that. I don't know. Tough. Mr. Overflow says, I sold some pharmaceuticals in my lifetime, but I have it, I have it all up. But I have it all up. Oh, you gave it all up. I get it. That's what's up. You know, shit. The money from selling drugs is as addictive as the drug itself. That might be good, man. When you really selling some shit, you know, you small time, hand to hand, whatever. You know what I mean? You just graduated from being a lookout with a grab boy. You holding a little pack. But when you making real money, when you ain't got to be on the block every day, like you got time to go shopping, you know what I mean? Maybe take a little trip every now and then. Yeah. It's a nice little 6-figure salary. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. A 6-figure salary in the 80s and 90s, living pretty good. That gets you out in the burbs. 3-car garage, easily. Easy. Info spot 411 says tough love is sometimes the best love. I agree. Hold on. You asked a question. Hold on. Naturalista says you didn't answer my question. Hold on. What's the question? Drugs and smoke. Wait a minute. I gotta find your question. Let me see if I can find your question. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why did you cut the call short? You be letting. I'm gonna tell you why I let the caller go. You just fucked me up. I let the caller go because we have to put some type of. Let's just say this. Sometimes enough is enough. Is good enough, but too much is never good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta practice being a little better sometimes at some things. You know, I gotta practice being better at something. You know what I mean? Let me do this. You get it? So that's how come. That's how come. But you naturally, you gotta chill. You. That's your homework for the day. Go home and chill. I want you to think about what you said. I want you to think about what you wrote, and I want you to decide to do better. And I want you to chill. Chill. You. Who? You. Who? You. Don't bite my. Don't bite my. Anyway, I am the original man. Hold on. What he says? What's the number again? I'm the original man, Carl Thomas. The number is 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. 319-527-6199. As you can see, my people's doing their thing in the chat, and they have given you the number. Oh, damn. Young CV is back. Oh, this motherfucker like this show. He like this show. Ain't that some shit? Yeah. Yeah, when you got trolls coming back to watch your shit, you either doing something right, or at the very least, you doing something interesting. I'll take it. It's all good. It's all love. It's all wood. Now, I've known people to cut their parents off. I've known children to cut their parents off. Some of them cut their parents off or called themselves cutting their parents off just because they were spoiled. I mean, real shit. I mean, we can't totally forget that part of it. I've seen people cut their parents off just because they didn't give them something, didn't do something for them, didn't represent for them in the way that they thought that they should be represented. I'm cutting you off. But the thing is, it's still a tragic situation when you see families not interacting with each other the way that they used to, not loving each other on the same level that they used to, or expressing their pain. But the impact that a child has for cutting their parents off is not as strong, in my opinion, as the impact that a parent has with cutting a child off. A parent cutting a child off, it may have financial implications for it. Like a parent might cut a child off because the child been fucking up the money, or because they married somebody that they disapprove of. Now here this man or this woman is 25 years old and should be on their own doing their thing in the first place. But you've been paying for everything, making sure that you pay their car note, they rent, taking care of any other expenses that they need. When they get in trouble or whatever, they can always lean on you. They can always come back to you. Okay. Um and But they may have sometimes some outsiders can really put a strain on a relationship between the parent and the child. Like, let's say you marry somebody or you are dealing with somebody who is taking the money away from you that your parents are giving. They said, all right, enough of this shit. And you turned around and married the motherfucker. You turned around and married the motherfucker. So now he or she has legal access to the money that we give, or our fortune, or however it goes. So some parents would be like, all right, you're done now. I'm cutting you off. Now they may not cut them off emotionally. They may not cut off communication, but they cut off that pipeline. That bank account to check card pop pipeline. That's a Rizzy, Dizzy. That's a Rizzy, my Diz. No more of that. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. If you just coming to the show, please give me that like. Put that like up there. Appreciate it. And also, you missed certain highlights of the show, like you missed the heroin dance, a little sneak peek of the crackhead dance, but definitely the heroin dance, heroin dance. Yeah, thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate it. Gorilla God King says, forgot to pop this, but man, appreciate you. My man Gorilla God King came through. Let's do a triangle for you. Hold on. First, we want to do triangle. Hold on. We can do two. We can do two. For that super chat, we're going to give you a little triangle. Wait a minute. But we ain't done. We got to give you some symbols. Yes, give you some symbols. Give you some symbol. I appreciate the money that you give, and I appreciate you just letting me live. I thank you so much, and anybody got a touch your face. Yo, appreciate you, God King. I even like your name, God King. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate you. Say appreciate you. Appreciate you. Say appreciate you. Say appreciate you. Appreciate you. Say appreciate you. 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 Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for all that you do and all that you did just allowing me to live. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dude. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Cut them off. See, I mean, social media, the internet, we hear people talking about cutting people off all the time. You know what I mean? But we talking about cutting off people that we don't know. People that we never met, people that we never stood in front of, people that we can't We can't even say what they look like besides a filter, or profile picture, or something like that. But when we talk about, I said, when we talk about a parent cutting a child off, a child cutting their parents off, we talking about some real deep shit. We talking about the thing that cuts, the thing that cuts into your heart. You know, I mean, really, really cuts into your heart. And it's normally a decision that people struggle with for a long time. If you're a decent person, you're going to struggle with cutting your child. I mean, cutting your child off. I mean, that's my baby. My baby ain't never hurt nobody, but she still got smoked at baby's party. Grown woman, don't try me, sis. What the hell? You got a whole band now? No, I'm telling you. I mean, remember you gave me a couple of dollars a few weeks ago, man. I still got to get that. I got to get that horn. I got to get that tuba. Give me a tuba up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm go to Florida AMU and get in the band. You're like, man, you too old to go to college. No, I ain't. I'm gonna take some grad courses here. I'm gonna take some grad courses. What's up? What's up? But while I'm in grad course, I want to play first chair in the band. First chair? What you gonna play? The triangle, nigga. I've been practicing. Like, do we have a triangle player in the band? No, and that's what y'all been missing. That's what y'all been missing. Y'all gonna see me, 54-year-old, HBCU. Y'all see? Hold on. Y'all see? Yeah, hold on. Let me get this guy behind the scene. Y'all see my 54-year-old ass down in Florida AMU at the Bethune-Cookman game? At the Bethune-Cookman game, when y'all see me? And y'all get my solo? When I get my solo? When y'all see me down there and getting busy? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all,
90 seconds.
Nigga 54 years old. He don't give a fuck. It's gonna happen. Carol! I don't know what's on. Grown women don't try me says, here's some help for the horn section. Yes.
60 seconds.
Yes. 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 For the horn section. For the horn section. We gonna pioneer that shit, y'all. We gonna pioneer that shit. Pioneer that shit. 54-year-old man, HBCU, playing a triangle is what we do. Triangle player, playing in the band, yeah. Triangle player, solo in the band, triangle player, solo in the band, yeah. 54-year-old man, yeah. What you talking about? 54, yeah. I'm just saying though, we gotta do our chair. We gotta do our chair. I know one thing. When my 54-year-old first chair triangle player in the HBCU Florida A&M band against Bethune-Cookman at homecoming, that's gonna strengthen these families. That's going to keep parents from cutting their kids off. You don't see the connection? I do. when they see me, they gonna be so inspired. They ain't gonna be able to cut their kids off. Like, yo, he a returning student. He came back to get his education. What you talking about? He graduated in 93. Yeah, I came back to get my master's just so I could sit first chair, triangle player in the marching band, HBCU, Florida A&M versus Bethune-Cookman in a homecoming game. Ain't no parents gonna cut their kids off after that. Like, yo, man, he showed me the longevity of what could happen. You know what I mean? If you treat your kids right. Okay. yeah. Fuck that shit. I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all gotta start hating. You gotta start hating. The Gorilla God King said, Nick Cage, that's right. I saw the movie. Why they had no triangle player in it? Say, I'm pioneering shit, man. One time I present this shit, they gonna be like, damn. How do we mic up? How do we get the triangle mic'd up? Like, just throw the shit on my shoulder, son. Just throw the shit on my shoulder. Well, I clip it to my watch so they hear it up close, like ding. You know what I mean? Over all them horns and drums and clarinets and all that shit. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, ding, ding. They both be like, oh shit. Ah! Ah! Get me a scholarship. You know, never too old to get a scholarship. We about to get on up out of here, y'all. We about to get on up out of here. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm glad, even though we was late getting on today, I'm glad that we had a chance to come on and get this thing together. So what we're going to do here, what it's time for us to do here is do these birthday shout-outs. We have some birthday shout-outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 7th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Look at the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Look at the R-S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Look at the R-S-P-E-C-T. Number one out the box, Rosalind Brown, and also Linda Pfeiffer Sprite. Happy birthday to you, and also Teresa So Blessed Campbell. The words are behind y'all. That's why I gotta look over and under. All right, and also Valencia Williams. Happy birthday to you, and also Ja Collins and Go Getter Key Yamaya. And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, Max, and chill. He would normally be here, but he probably out there getting his birthday on, his BD on. But that's our brother, that's our people. That's our family right there, man. Happy birthday to you and many more. And also, my brother Tim Barnes, last but not least, my brother Tim Barnes. I'm going to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 7th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, parents cutting off their kids, how can it happen? It happened because some shit went wrong and they start snapping. But see, cutting your kids off as a parent is not something that most people would do as a snap decision. There's probably a sequence of events that will probably lead up to you cutting your child off if it ever comes down to that. And in reverse too, I think that it would take a whole lot for a child to cut their parents off, because that is your foundation. That is the first love of your life, and that is the person that brought you into this world. So there's a bond and a connection there that can't be disturbed by any other entity. It is what it is. You can't take that away. Um, the thing about it is, the only more tragic situation that I could think that could actually lead to a parent cutting a child off is a child or another family member actually killing another family member. And unfortunately, in many families, they've had to deal with this. Shit got out of hand, and you know, it's not. It's something that we wish we only saw on the ID channel, but it is something that we have to deal with in real life. And my heart goes out to anybody and everybody who has had to deal with that situation. I mean, dealing with a death in the family is hard enough, but dealing with a family member who took the life of another family member, like, can you imagine? Can you imagine what Marvin Gaye's dad had to deal with when he killed Marvin Gaye on Easter? You know, I don't know how that played out with the rest of his family, but come on, man. I mean, it's mad unfortunate that things like this happen, but they do. Anyway, for all of y'all who still have parents walking this earth, living in this world, you may not understand how blessed you are until that's no longer the case. So I always try to encourage people to get it popping with your parents as much as possible. Drain all of their knowledge base out of them, and all of their experience base, because that and those experiences will probably be the experiences that you have similar to them. You don't have to see them do it in order for you to live it out in your own life. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night as far as Sunday going into Monday, but Monday going into Tuesday, 1 a.m. That's when we do our thing. 1 a.m. That's when we do our thing. Instead of 1 a.m. That's when we do our thing. Yeah. We sing raps. Okay. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Okay, so we're going to do it like this. Blog Talk, we going to get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good day. Stay cool. Everything going to be good. And never forget, when I turn 54, never forget. Peace, y'all. I don't want to go out. All right.